Hi, I'm Danae King. I'm a reporter with the Columbus Dispatch in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm here with two of my colleagues, Alyssa Widman-Neese, who reports on education, and Max Philby, who reports on healthcare here. And today we're going to tell you a little bit about what's going on with vaping. So we've done this big series for Gatehouse Media and the Columbus Dispatch about vaping, where we've gotten all kinds of different points of view on what's going on with illnesses and death and flavor and, all kinds of stuff like that. So we'll do kind of a brief summary about what's going on currently. So first of all, there's been reports of more than 2,000 reports of illnesses due to e-cigarette use since national reports came out in August about the dangers of vaping. And so those have been in all states except Alaska, and there's been 39 deaths confirmed in the country. So now I'm going to ask Max, tell me a little bit about what the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have announced last week regarding vitamin E.
Sure. So the CDC announced late last week that they think that vitamin E acetate, which has been found in some of the lungs of some of these patients, may be a contributing factor to this illness. It's a chemical that's found in all sorts of foods and different products. So they're taking a look at it in regards to the vaping liquid now. The CDC thinks it might be a real breakthrough in finding out why this is happening.
So is that in all vaping devices?
So they're taking a look currently to see which devices it is in. I know the state is potentially looking at that as well.
Great. Okay, so one huge concern when it comes to vaping is children using the products. So Alyssa reports locally on schools, and she's going to tell me a little bit about, this concern with children getting a hold of these and what schools are doing about it.
Yeah, so this has been an ongoing concern in primarily middle schools and high schools. For a few years now, it really ramped up according to some principals I talked with after Juul devices came out around 2015 and became really popular. So before this captured national attention, schools had been picking up on it for a while. And although a lot of attention has been brought to things like vaping detectors, which are put in bathrooms to detect when an e-cigarette is being used. And a lot of attention has also been given to discipline, such as suspensions or expulsions. The schools I spoke with wanted to talk primarily about their approach to this as a addiction issue. They want to treat the students more so than just punish them, because they're learning over the years that you can't really punish away this issue, and giving it this sort of stigma of something that's forbidden is almost enticing some of these younger teen students to do it more because of that. So they're debuting some programs, partnering with area recovery groups, counseling services, and they're trying to incentivize students to participate in these rather than receiving an expulsion or a suspension. And it seems so far to be really working, and the students and their families, as well as the teachers, they have a lot of positive things to say about it.
Great. Okay, so kind of working off of that, tell me a little bit. There's been some laws lately to keep this out of the hands of kids. What have they done in Ohio with that?
So in Ohio, a law just recently took effect last month, prohibiting tobacco products from being sold to anyone under the age of 21. They vary a little bit from state to state, but they're typically referred to as Tobacco 21 laws, which would include e-cigarette products. That law is being, some people are saying it's not enough So in October, Governor DeWine also called for the ban of flavors used in e-cigarettes and is asking lawmakers to do something about it. There hasn't been any progress on that yet, to my knowledge, but it is a big discussion because the thinking is that these flavors, fruity flavors, mint, something called unicorn vomit, that they're appealing to kids and that it's an easy way to target them to get started because they might be curious about what it tastes like and then they become addicted. So that, I assume, will be the next step now that this Tobacco 21 law has taken effect in Ohio.
Okay, so yeah, so there's been kind of a big controversy over the flavors. And as far as the Tobacco 21 law goes, it looks like about 18 states have done total, just Ohio. And then there's also some stuff going on nationally. Max, can you tell us a little bit about what the president is considering?
Yeah, so the Trump administration is considering banning flavors of vaping liquids. As you know, as Alyssa was just saying, a lot of people think that those really appeal to young people and kids. So the thought is that if you ban those flavors, that maybe you can keep them out of the hands of teenagers. Locally in Ohio, Governor Mike DeWine has called for a similar ban. That proposal was introduced in the State House, hasn't really moved anywhere yet. But the governor has said that regardless of what the Trump administration ends up doing, he'd like to see that bill move forward in Ohio rather than wait for the federal government.
Great. So, this has been going on for a few months, and e-cigarettes are pretty new compared to cigarettes and have been around for about a decade. But people just recently began getting sick, or, as health professionals say, they just kind of realized that's what was going on, that e-cigarettes might be causing this illness. There have been, health professionals, as the CDC investigates, which is ongoing. Some people in the industry think things like vitamin E in e-cigarette flavor liquid and THC, the active ingredient marijuana, are what's causing these illnesses. But health professionals say that despite misconceptions, vaping is not safer than smoking cigarettes. So that kind of wraps up our discussion. Thank you guys so much. And you can see much more about vaping and this topic, including what industry people have to say about it, as well as vapers themselves, in our special section, dispatch.com/vaping. And you can also check your local media for Gatehouse News coverage. Thank you guys again.